Okay guys, it is a hot one. I'm gonna pick it up where I left off. I've got to get the other side done. Get this Beetle wrapped up and on the road. Miss driving it. Yeah, the brake's been good. It's been real good. I've kind of got the itch back to get back on the paint work, learn how to do that. So yeah, the brake served its purpose. Give me I feel fresh. But the Beetle's got to be done. I've got a few more things to do to it, and well, let's just get started. I got this portion of the spindle. I didn't want to clamp that backing plate and put it against all that rust, so I cleaned it up a little bit, taped off the where it seals, and went in and primed it. I'm gonna paint that in a minute. These backing plates, man, they are in such bad shape. Look at it. The other one's just the same, just really, really bad. It takes a while to get them cleaned up. Yeah, guys, I'm thinking about another project here. I don't know if I'm gonna do it now while I'm working on the Beetle with the few things I'm doing, but I'm thinking seriously about building a console here. I've got a bunch of these old gauges that I've had for years, just about forgot all about them. I've got let's see, let me open the box here. I've got a cylinder head, and I had a volts, and I'm thinking about taking this manual oil pressure out and building a console here, you know, maybe about as wide as from here to here, and kind of angling it down and putting those gauges straight down with the oil pressure, oil temperature, cylinder head. Yeah, that's kind of what I think I'm going to do. I need to straighten out this backing plate a little bit. You can see that somebody been pretty rough on it. I guess they were trying to, you know, the adjusters were stuck and they were prying really hard to get them freed up. But they about peeled that all the way back out of it. I'm going to try using my new Faster Cat hammer. Beat that back down a little bit. Like I say, they're just about shot, these backing plates, but I'm trying to go with what I've got here. Instead of watching paint dry, I'm going to try to straighten out some of these dents. I've got just more of the work I've got to do on this Beetle. These old cars sure do take a lot of work. Fellas, my work on that beating the dents out isn't perfect, but it's a start. It's going to take more practice. I'm going to go ahead and try to take care of this. Yeah, it sure beats watching paint dry. That's for sure. This little car needs so much work. I'm just about ready to bleed the brakes. One thing you might want to watch out for if you're not familiar with these old Volkswagens, on the driver's side you've got a left-handed thread, reverse thread, whatever you want to call it. Just take note of that if you're not familiar with it, because you'll be tightening and tightening and tightening and it'll never come off. And got to do the remove the brake drum. Alright, fellas, I'm going to go ahead and mask off this this little area here where my dust cap goes. A little weird with these, you got the speedometer cable coming out here. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to get it straight across the top so I can get close. It's got to come through here. Get around on my masking here. Smash that back. Okay, that looks pretty straight. I don't want to beat the top of that cap into oblivion. Just use a chisel. Pull that right down. Get a pair of needle nose here. Okay. Now, I'll take me some carbon choke cleaner and clean that off where the paint is fixed to it. Yep. Okay. Try to get it cleaned up for the whole paint anyway. It's time to bleed the brakes. I had to put me a little adapter on my vacuum pump here. The clear hose is too big to fit my bleeder valve. I'm gonna stick this on here. I already got my wrench on it. This is a lot easier, guys. I didn't have one of these for years. I'd have to have somebody sit in the car and pump the brakes and, you know, pump up the pressure, and then I'd have to let it off and holler back and forth, you know, pump it, whatever. This is just a lot easier with the vacuum pump. You can get them pretty cheap. They probably even got them at Harbor Freight, I'd say. Anyway, the deal is you pump up the pressure, you build the vacuum, you crack the valve with the wrench, and it draws the air out of it. I just keep repeating the process till I get the all the air out of it here, and it's a little better because you don't have it shooting out all over the car and on the ground too. We'll go ahead and start the process here and get. I always start from the furthest wheel cylinder from the master cylinder. It's my rule of thumb. I don't know if you can see that or not. You can see a bunch of air coming out of there. Just tighten it back up. Build the vacuum. Still drawing air. And just keep repeating the process till you get all the air out of it. Here's the deal. You see all this fluid right here? I bled my brakes. I got in to check them. I went straight to the floor. Okay, I think what's happened, I'm not sure. I'm going to have to take this side back apart. I think when they assembled the wheel cylinder, they put one of the cups in backwards, and all the fluid's just coming out and hitting the ground. And that's just Volkswagening, man. I'm sure all you guys have experienced it who fooled with these things very long. The wheel cylinders were from AC Industries, which is a Chinese deal. And the parts we get for Volkswagens today, if you don't get them from Germany or a really good manufacturer, you're going to have stuff like this. I might be wrong, but that's what I'm suspecting. They've got a cup in that wheel cylinder backwards, and it's letting the fluid shoot around instead of build pressure and push the plunger out. So I don't even know if I'm gonna fool with it today or not. I'm worn out and I'm pretty upset. You know, I understand it happens. It's just an aggravation. I was ready to put the wheels on this thing and get it on the ground. I have some other things I need to do. But yeah, I can hit that pedal and water will, or fluid will shoot right out of there and hit the ground just as quick as I push the pedal. So that's what I've got to do. So anyway, I don't know if I'll do it this evening. I'll probably do it tomorrow. I'm pretty aggravated, but I'll try to take some footage of it. I'm gonna try real quick. I figure that at least I need to get to the bottom of it, bottom of whatever the deal is. Trying to keep from scratching fresh paint up too bad. Some things I do like to buy, like when it comes to building axles or something like that, I like to spend the money on the German stuff. And right now I really wish that I'd spent money on German stuff, you know, with these wheel cylinders. Okay, it looks like it's coming out of the top here. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and take the brake hardware off. I'm going to pull this boot and the plunger and see if they put that in backwards. I'm not sure what happened. I took it apart, took the brakes apart, and let me go ahead and get this drum back off. I took the brakes apart, and I took the cup that I thought was in backwards. It was leaking right around here. There was fluid standing on top of this. So I took the boot off, took the plunger out, and the cup, I mashed it down in there and pushed up from this side. Maybe, I don't know, I can't explain it. It's not leaking now. I don't know. It's one of those mysteries. Maybe the edge of the cup was folded. I don't know. At any rate, it's not leaking now. I put the drum back on there just long enough for my wife to push the pedal down. So I'm gonna move forward with it. I think it's whatever it was. It's not leaking now, but it obviously wasn't assembled correctly. Alright fellas, the last thing I want to do today is get this, they got this stud kit so you don't have to hold the tire and put the bolt in there. It's a real balancing act to do that. But they didn't lock tight the threads when they put the kit, and it was when they put the kit on it, the studs were coming out with the lug nuts, which defeats the purpose altogether. This is a whole lot better than fooling with the lug bolts. I'll tell you that for sure. It's okay. Yeah, I'm calling it done here. Yep, we're done. Man, those really need cleaned up. Those really need cleaned up bad. But anyway, guys, that's it. Yep, we might do something tomorrow.